Hello friends, welcome back to a new price prediction update on SLP, where we'll be taking a look at some of the recent things that happened in the last several days from where we left off at the levels of 0.0183, and just taking a look at where I see price heading in the next coming days. So if you guys like these types of videos, please like and subscribe, and let's get to the video. Okay, so on the recent update video that we did before, if you take a look, we stated that we had heavy support levels at these here, okay, at about 0.0182, okay. We stated this is a key area because we are also we were in a zone where the EMA was reflecting that we were still in a downtrend, okay. So as you can see here, we had supply as well at about 0.0206, okay. And for quite some time in the 1 hour, we were in a downtrend. Okay, so as you can see here, price never closed there, and we were also we were under the 50 EMA, which was the trend was overall in the downwards. Okay, so now why do I still believe in SLP, and why I still believe that we could see some momentum happening in the next coming days? Well, there's several things that I see here in the SLP. Okay, we see a very high of 0.0294. Okay, do I think price can continue to the upwards and test these levels? Maybe. Okay, we don't know what's going to happen in crypto, but there's a lot of indications right now that there's momentum happening for SLP, and also as you can see here, we were trending in the downwards for quite some time. We saw the overall trend in the 1 hour and the downwards. Okay, so we can see that from when we reached the high of 0.0292 until about 0.0164, we were in a downwards. Okay, so we were creating support levels, but we were never respecting these levels. Okay, so we were just creating support, testing back at the recent resistance, and then just continuing the downtrend. Okay, since we saw a heavy indication of the EMA. But guys, take a look at this now. We finally broke in the for SLP. We finally broke the levels. Okay, so we know here we have a very high probability levels of support here at about 0.0162. Okay, this level is very crucial because as you can see, we were under the 50 EMA, and then we created a level of support here where we retested several times. We retested about 3 times here, where we saw a demand level being created here at about 0.016. Okay, so we tested. If we zoom in, we can see that the 50 EMA, we tested it several times. Okay, so we can see here we tested it, and we tested our downtrends that we drew as well, where we wicked up there, but we never closed. Okay, and that's why we decided to come back here at the levels of support that we created before. Okay, at about 0.061. Okay, so now look what happened with Jasmine. We finally broke the EMA, guys. Okay, this is very huge. Okay, we can see that we broke this level of 50 EMA. We retested the 50 EMA again, and then take a look at this. Okay, so we retested and broke. Okay, so we retested back at about 0.0166, and then look at this now. Okay, we are currently in the uptrend. Okay, this is great. We love to see that for Jasmine. Okay, we can see that we had a level of supply here that we still haven't broke out of. So at about 0.0176. Okay, so unless we are above the 50 EMA. Okay, this is great news. We haven't broke out of that 50 EMA in quite some time. As you can see from the chart, we haven't broken it in the 1 hour. We have always retested, and once we retested, we go down. Okay, so this is why it's very huge, because we broke out of it since about the last time we broke out of the levels was about April 5th. Okay, so it's been several days now that we haven't broke out of the level for Jasmine here. Okay, so now what I want to see price happen is for price to actually, you can see here, price wicked out of these zones several times at about 0.0178. Okay, but I want to see price actually, we could see that our size level is at 60. So if we can still push up to a little bit to about 70 levels where we will be oversold, but at least we could still break out of this zone here, retest back at the 0.0177, and that would be great. Okay, because we can see that we are up top of the 50 EMA, which is indicating that there's going to be a reversal that's happening soon, hopefully. And once we actually create a resistance level here, we could potentially see a rise back to these levels here at about 0.0193. Okay, so this is going to be very huge, guys, because if we do create a level of support here, then there's another indication that price can continue to the upwards to about 0.0192. Okay, hopefully we still, since we have levels of support here that are very crucial, if price decides not to break out of these zones here at the meantime, and Bitcoin rallies down, and we see volume decrease for Bitcoin as well, where projects are gonna follow its momentum, we can retest back at the levels of 0.0174, and I still believe the trend will be in the bullish momentum. If we can retest back at the levels of 0.0162, since we have the EMA here, 50 EMA at these levels of 0.0168, so it will be up there, okay? So if we can retest back at these levels of very heavy support, we're retested several times here. If we could create a level of support at 0.0162, then I still believe the trend can continue, as you can see here, since we have the 50 EMA up there, okay? If we retest back here, and then retest back when Bitcoin volume increases again, and then break out of the zone to these levels of 0.0177, then there's still an indication that SLP volume will continue to upwards, okay? As you can see here, we saw that volume was decreasing a little bit at the levels of supply, but every time we reached the level of demand area and support, we saw volume increase as well, okay? And look where volume is also increasing for the bearish momentum at the levels of EMA, guys. Okay, so just keep in mind the 50 EMA is very crucial for us when we're taking a look at these projects, and also when we broke out of these levels of resistance here in the bearish momentum, we could see that price finally decided to break out of there, and we saw volume also increase. So there's a lot of indication that SLP can continue to rise in the next coming days. Hopefully we can create these levels of support at 0.0162. I still have high faith for SLP, and I hope this also works out. So if you guys like these types of videos, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next update. Take care, and stay blessed.